Hi, my name's Brennan Moriarty, and I am going to change the world, okay? I have been working on this sociological science for many, many years, quantifying fundamental realities. And it's about policy, and it's just utterly fundamental and utterly peaceful stuff. Now, to balance out this, basically what you have is you have two scales. You have one is the sociology scale. This is the bottomless pit. People who are in limbo, people who are trapped geographically, generally children of immigrants, so like slavery basically, but much more on a moral, normal scale. So it's really normal. And then the other side is the tower of power engineering, so all of our products, all of our stuff, and I've literally like quantifying this whole paradigm of universal products, so go global. Okay, so you have on those you have those two basic scales in your two-dimensional reality, basically forming a base of with that civil engineering, but really personal engineering. These quantified sort of products that are mass producible, and this goes in my family history and even in my stars. Okay, it's like. Okay, and so on those others, you have this one beam of the justice that is balancing out on that one, but you have like a second beam in the third dimension that basically deals with what I call a net and PG easy. Now PG easy is it's really what everybody wants, what everybody desperately wants. It's a little it's pro general happiness. Okay, so these words are all sort of highly dynamic words that I do it in my poetry quite a bit. Now, what I am seeking is some sort of scholarship so that I can get out there and or in there basically, but not really in there. I'm not trying to be Mr. Student. I've studied all this stuff, but basically some sort of all my energy goes into thought. So I'm constantly just thinking out that the utter truth and balance. And so what I'm trying to get is some sort of scholarship where I just need these basic facilities to work on the prototypes of this, what I call the vehicle of the future, engineering, and then also on the language of the policy craft of the sociology. So it's you can kind of tell that the language is a little it needs to be refined, not just by myself, but through active cultivation of language, drawing it out, and that's what I'm going to try and do. And I'll just sing a little song because I know I got this guitar. I hate the color, but it was $5, and so it's an ugly guitar, but just. Not a good guitar player, but I'm trying to find basically some situation where I can pursue this science, and I kind of want to go anywhere. I grew up in California, believe it or not. Yeah, and everyone's like, "Well, go back to California now." So But I'm looking for more an academically fertile area, not so much a fertilized area. That's what California is. It's like it's good for people who either just moved there after growing up somewhere else, like my parents, or it's good for someone who is adopted, like Steve Jobs, or someone who has multiple generations, like Bill Gates. He's third generation on the West Coast. It's all, the West Coast is all one geographic reality of a normative reality. And so that the sociology is very fundamental, and I'm hoping that someone out there could find me the place where I could work this out, because I'm like constantly find myself in a shotgun shack sort of. I'm taking, I guess, the path of least resistance, for the path of unhampered truth. But I am very, very intelligent, very just a good person. I'm not bald, see? So isn't that good? And yeah, so I'm hoping to find something like that, and perhaps in my ancestral world or in the old world. Just about anywhere in the old world is really functional, because that's where all my ancestry is from, is the old world. And yeah, so it's impossibly important that I do this stuff. And I do a little bit of sports too. I used to be a big time surfer in Santa Cruz, California. I used to surf the big waves. But the sort of the culture there is, it's all about the sociological reality that is going to save the world. We're going to make solving all the major problems easy, peaceful by normativity. So when you have normalcy, stuff like the wars are not needed, and terrible things can be, cleaned up. If there's poverty, we don't want, that should not be the norm, okay? So yeah, so I hope this works. Half the time the YouTube cuts it off, but I just gamble when I go on the webcam. But yeah, and I have the answers to so much stuff. And doctors run in my family, so if I look like Quentin Tarantino or Doogie Howser or whatever, it's an act that I can do. That and acting too, like an agent. So if there's someone out there who wants to communicate, I'll show you how. Radical I am. And I'm sane too, yeah. Okay, so help me save the world. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be ultra honest and a little bit of exposure, and I'm going to be much more just like real to earth, very real to earth. The West Coast is, where Steve Jobs grew up at, all the stuff Steve Jobs says about the mind. It's kind of a wild world. So help me save the world, please.